Yesterday was probably the biggest day for the crypto market here in 2025. And I don't mean from a price standpoint. We've obviously had days where ADA price and prices throughout the space have moved more. But what I mean from a clarity and a certainty standpoint, which is something that the market has desperately been needing. And in fact, we may have just gotten the final piece of the puzzle for this next major leg across the crypto space. And we're going to talk about that in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So looking at ADA, to begin the day, it's about 7:20 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're kind of chopping right now. That's not surprising. U.S. money is just waking up. We're trying to determine our direction for the day. We're floating between 70 cents to 71 cents, just kind of putzing around. And that's might be what we do for the early part of the day. We'll see if we get more good news, more positivity that continues to push the market to the upside. That potential still lies there. And I do want to show just first of all a couple fundamental things that have been very good for ADA that were kind of showing us we were going to make this extended move. So first of all, I have to say that Miles Deutscher actually made this great post. This was very interesting. This was actually the BTC US dollar chart versus the Paradise Money Noodle. And I don't know exactly what that is, but you guys can see a very distinct trend that, when BTC does drop into this money noodle, it tends to get a hard bounce off the bottom here unless we're entering a bear market cycle. So this was actually a very important confirmation for the crypto market. So anybody saying, oh, bear market, oh, we're dropping further. Well, you just lost. You just messed up. So sorry to tell you that, but these signs were kind of on the wall. The writing was on the wall and the fundamentals were not showing we were anywhere close to a bear market cycle. And in fact, when we look at ADA from a whale standpoint, the defensive price in the accumulation has been very prevalent. For example, since April 14th, the holder groups holding between 100,000 to 1 million ADA, 1 million ADA to 10 million ADA, and 10 million to 100 million ADA have all been accumulating. They have been defending price. They have been picking up the discounts and dips while they've been there. Because again, we got to this point where we had this hard pivot where you saw the last of the people that were going to capitulate. They capitulated. They dumped their bags, and it was harder to move ADA price down. Actually, ADA is one of the few assets in the space that did not set a lower low compared to February 3rd. And that's a very big deal. This is a real testament to the conviction and the long-term mindset of ADA holders, like I've talked about many times before. And actually, what's even, I think, more interesting about this is that ADA holders holding between 10 million to 100 million ADA have been heavily on the buy since all the way back in January. That February liquidation event didn't phase them at all. They just bought and bought and bought and bought and bought. That's this blue line that you guys can see just goes steadily up and to the right. So this is, again, that major shift that takes place right before, you get this massive rally across the crypto market. Now, secondly, what we're also seeing is open interest weighted funding rates is showing very bullish sentiment right now. In fact, we just reached 0.0096%, which is the highest level since February 22nd. Very big deal there. And this is actually indicating that longs are paying shorts, which is in fact a bullish sentiment thing for those that aren't familiar. And again, we are seeing a shift towards the bulls take over open interest. All right. Now that could be obviously kind of scary because if we get negative events, you could see longs get liquidated. You could see prices move to the upside. But the problem is now is you're feeling the overall sentiment in the shift in the crypto market shift. And I think yesterday, this kind of confirmation of clarity and resilience. I lost my train of thought. This clarity that we got creates more certainty for the market. And now because of that, what we're actually starting to see is gold drop off after hitting an all-time high. But what we're also starting to see is, again, 10-year bond yields once again begin to drop off. And this is because of this clarity that is now coming from trade deals, but also specifically from the discussions with China. And maybe this changes as the day and the week goes on, but that is one of the last things we have been waiting for in the crypto market. That is what helps create this hard pivot. The reason that people were flocking to gold is because of this lack of clarity, because of weakness in the US dollar, because of total economic uncertainty, global uncertainty. That is why you've been seeing this. And now that a lot of this has started to be cleared up, don't be surprised if, gold starts to drop. Now, what's interesting about this is that just as we know that there is a correlation between global M2 liquidity and BTC, there is also this with gold as well. Gold kind of leads the way, and then BTC follows and catches up as gold starts to drop. So now we're really potentially about to see major pivots in terms of prices across the crypto space. Something I need to show you guys as well that I don't think I did already in this video, I'm losing my mind, apparently, losing my train of thought, is the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart in terms of ADA. So what we are actually doing right now is about to exit this oversold range. And historically speaking, when ADA has started to exit these oversold ranges, it has led us on some of these major runs, all right? Last time ADA did it, it ran 300%. All right. When it did it back here in September of 2023, it ran 300%. There was kind of a mini one that didn't reach the top here back in the middle of 2023, but ADA ran from about 21 cents up to about 37% or 37 cents. That'd be what, about 70% or so? I didn't do the math. Yeah, 70%. So you guys get the point here. These are historically major pivots for ADA price, major pivots for the crypto market, but it's even happening on a much bigger scale now, because the things that have held the crypto market down are now getting clarity. They're now creating some more certainty. All right. And that has been the biggest thing we've needed in order for this capital in the US market, like we talked about, have talked about many times before, to start re-entering the space. And it's all happening, guys. This is great stuff that is happening right now. And this can, yes, create much bigger, more extended moves to the upside. And the news can, I don't want to say it can only get better. The news has an opportunity to get even better and better, accelerating towards, again, interest rate decreases, accelerating towards quantitative easing, rate cuts, right? I talked about rate cuts, interest rate decrease. See, guys, I'm losing my mind. All right. Today has got me all jumbled because of what the market's doing. And it shouldn't, because we've talked about this time and time again, but you know, when we start seeing those shifts take place, the market has a real opportunity to push us right into adoption and just pick right back up with where we were at. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. Are we about to start seeing even bigger moves across the crypto space? But have a great day. Show your love. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.